So then they're like, what are you doing? Why did you come back from the hospital? I'm like, I don't know, the doctor sent me back. He said there's nothing wrong with it. Well, obviously the age, you're passed out in the park. Okay, so they bundled me back in the taxi again, and I'm back up there. Oh,
Um,
no.
okay, Tweedy, there you are.
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm very good. Yeah, I'm very busy.
Yeah, you just finished the show or what?
No, I finished the show a while ago, but I'm doing personal video messages.
Okay, so here, let's jump into it, all right? We toured together for 2 years.
Is this it now? Have we started?
You were starting.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
we toured together for 2 years, but I mean, touring with you was literally, I had no idea what to expect ever. So, one of the biggest memories I have is that whenever we tried to film anything, you always messed up. You always messed it up. You're always telling me, don't let me know. Don't tell me you're filming. Don't tell me you're filming. Because I'd come to you and be like, hey, Tweedy, they're filming for the show. You're like, no, don't tell me. And I'm like, why? And yeah, it just was funny because like your act and your character, things go wrong. And then whenever we were filming, the thing that was supposed to go wrong goes okay.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The clown's the opposite. So
Yeah.
it could have been amazing. Maybe this episode should be, it was going to be cack.
It was going to be cack, and then it worked out all right.
Yeah, then when everything went wrong, it was amazing.
Hey, remember like that chair? Remember your chair?
Yeah, I still have it. Yeah, not here.
Great prop. That's a great prop. So
Yeah.
during during the Wheel of Death act, there was this really long, obnoxiously long break.
I was gonna say it nicer than that, but no, you just go for it.
The act.
Guillermo was about to do an amazing trick that took a long time to build up to. You had to prepare for about 10 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah, this guy had to prepare to do this death-defying feat, and it was obnoxious how long he took to prepare. Anyways, there was a bunch of silence as we're just waiting, and the drums, like.
So I thought there's an opportunity here.
Yeah. So we had like literally minutes of just silence, and everybody just sitting there waiting, and it was so boring. So you got a chair out to like sit, because you and I were on this platform watching this.
Going like this. Oh, my arm hurts. Is he going to do it? Yes. Oh, no.
So you end up getting a chair and sitting down on the chair.
And then it developed
Yeah.
to the collapsing chair.
Yeah.
Because remember, I spent so long trying to sit on the chair that when I eventually sat on the chair, all the audience applauded. And he thought they were applauding him. So, thank you, thank you.
That's right.
Because I sat on a chair. You might be doing a forward somersault way up there on the top of the Wheel of the Death while it's spinning round. But they're applauding me for sitting down on the chair.
That's right. I forgot that he thought they were clapping for him. I forgot because he had no idea what you were doing. Oh my gosh, that's so right. You sat down. Yay!
And somebody told me that in one of the big meetings, when all the main people, Kenneth and all that, were coming to the show, Kenneth said, when he's preparing for this somersault, watch Tweedy.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. Because everybody's bored. It's like, come on, just do it. Just do the trick. Come on. Like me as a magician, like you can only build something up so much. And then eventually it's like, just do it. Just do it. So okay, so that was the regular chair. And then when you got the collapsing chair, it would be where you sat on the seat and then it would automatically fall, right?
Yeah, but do you remember when I first got it and I left it in the dressing room? Sharon came in and thought it was a chair and sat on it and went, I was in trouble that night.
Sharon sat in your collapsing chair because you had it set up. Why didn't you have it folded against the wall?
I don't know. I just had.
So there was a chair just in your dressing room, like a normal chair, like anyone would have. And all of a sudden, anybody who sits in it, the whole thing falls. I remember that. And no, okay, so then that was part of the bit. Like you were trying to, do the whole chair and like arrange it, and you're getting caught in it. And finally, when you sat in it, it fell. And that was everybody laughing, right? So that was in the show for a while. And finally, I said to you one time, I go, hey, we need to get the video this, because it's a really funny, like moment of, it's a really funny moment of you like adjusting the chair and sitting in it, and finally it falls, like right when you sit down. And when I said, I go, okay, we're going to film this show, that moment, you're like, no, don't tell me. I was like, what? And you're like, I'm going to mess it up. I go, how do you mess it up? You just sit in the chair. Just do it. It's going to be fine. You do the whole bit. Your tie's stuck in the chair. You're moving around. And then finally at the very end, you sit in the chair expecting it to collapse. And it literally doesn't collapse. It's working as a chair. And my back's to you, because like part of the beat was my back's to you, and I'm kind of like this, and I just hear wham, and I turn around, and so I'm ready for it to fall, and I'm just standing there. And I look back and I see you. I see you just sitting in the chair going, and then you're like, yeah, and then you're like, and you're scooting to the edge of the chair, and you're trying to get, like, it doesn't collapse. It just works. The chair just works.
The worst thing for a clown when something works. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Because you're just, and afterwards, I'm like, Tweedy, what the heck? Why didn't it not work? Why didn't it break? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, it got stuck. I don't know, but that was really funny.
But prior to the chair, I used to do a bit with a hanky on a wire in a thumb
that's
tip.
right. I forgot about that.
And when you had that one filmed, the thumb tip flew off. Never tell me you're filming.
Yeah, never. No, I know that now. We're not filming right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was really fun. This is the NSFW, not safe for work story.
Oh.
Remember when we were doing the escape, and then we did that show for the for the whole circus? And
yes.
You had that thumb, speaking of a thumb. And
the big thumb.
Yeah.
Oh, at the end of the escape. And the big thumb that looked a bit like something else as well ended up poking out my pants. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know how we managed to get away with that escape routine on the regular pre-show, because I seem to remember like running past Nicole on the pre-show floor just in my pants. I just did a whole thing. Probably thought, why is there a clown running about in his underwear?
Okay, so this routine. Now, this was your routine, and you developed it, right? Years ago.
Yeah. Yes, my escape act. Because I'm a magician and illusionist.
Escape artist.
Oh, is that the word?
Yeah. So this routine, how we set this up, we were doing a show. I would get two people from the audience, and I had these handcuffs and chains and shackled. I get locked up, and they were holding like the straps of the bag, and I'd go in the bag, and I'd come out of the handcuffs, and I'd go back in the handcuffs, and it was this really, humorous routine, and I escaped from these handcuffs essentially. So at the end of it, you'd walk in, and you'd have a big sack over your shoulders, and you're like, oh yeah, I can do that, and you just go on about it.
Yeah, so then I get you to tie me up in the sack and then lift up the black cloth, and they count down from 3, and then I'd have escaped. Except I hadn't escaped. And then the second time you did it, I'd fallen over. And for a moment, when you dropped the hook down, the people thought I'd vanished. He's gone.
Oh my gosh, I remember that so well, because when you told me this routine and you're like, oh, people think I disappear. And I was like, no, they don't. This is the dumbest thing. No. And I remember when we did it the first time, there were gasps. People thought you disappeared. So, okay, so the beats of the routine were, one of my favorite parts was you had a microphone, and then I'd tie you in the sack, but you couldn't have the microphone. So once I tied you in the sack, I would just like hold the microphone to this sack, and through the sack that you're inside tied up, you're like, okay, now cover me with the and all you just see is me putting a microphone to this big burlap sack with you tied in it. So that was always so funny. So then, we cover you up. And then the last bit of it, when I say, okay, everybody, here go, 3, 2, 1, we drop the curtain, you're out of the sack, but you are in tiger print silk boxers with just your red tie.
Yeah, because I escaped from the sack and my clothes. That's how good an escape artist I was. You see.
No, that's not what we call an escape artist. So anyways, as that happened, it was so funny, and everybody's laughing, and the kids are screaming, laughing, going, ah! And then you would grab your things, and you'd run off stage. And we didn't tell anyone that we were doing this.
No.
We just threw it at the show.
Why have we just seen Tweedy in his underwear? It's fine, it's fine.
Part of the act. And they're like, I don't remember approving that. And so, yeah, we did. But it was huge. People loved that routine. It was a great routine.
Yeah. No, it's a fun routine. Talking of ties. So we worked together for a couple of years, and I always wore a red tie. And then I started wearing a red tie. I think someone influenced you there. You took a little bit of Tweedy with you. Thought, you know what? This guy's fashion sense. I need to dress a little bit more like this guy. Oh, and the red braces. Except you wear your red braces like round like this.
Hold those up. We don't want to see the tiger print.
It's not tiger. No, it's not tiger print. So, but I noticed you wear your braces like hanging down, because that's like cool, down with the kids or something like that. So Alex would always do stuff like, he's a bit of a perfectionist, and which is great, and he works really hard and get everything precise. And I'd always look at him and go, oh yeah, that looks good. And then I'd try and kind of copy what he's doing, and then but it would end up being just tack. Because I remember at the end of the tour, you made these publicity books, and they were amazing. They were like proper books, and you had like screw hinges and all these like weird things. And I was looking at it going, oh, that's really good. I should make some publicity books as well, yeah. So I designed some on the computer, and I tried to make them a bit different, like Alex had done. So I sent them off, and Alex is like, wait, you're not getting them stapled. I said, no, that's fine. It's like $50 to get them stapled together. I'll staple them myself. And then I got them back. And instead of opening that way, I had to open that way, because I thought, Alex has done all these weird stuff. I'll make mine a bit weird. But then the stapler didn't.
Wait. I have mine right here. Look.
But yeah. Look,
This was the prototype. So I had this made, and it was like high gloss, black
That's
screw
it.
posts, and it was just, so this was just a prototype. And so it opened really, not.
Yeah, so I did mine the same as that, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you did the same
Then I
thing.
found, but then I couldn't staple it shut.
Okay, no, here, okay, so what happened is because something like this, right, when you want to get it perfect bound with staples this way, right, you have to open it, and the staples and the center booklet are going through. Well,
Yeah.
when you got them, and you got them out of the box, I mean, you all like, oh, I got my brochures, and I look at them, I said, because I picked them up, and all like the papers fell out, and I go, what, Tweedy, what? you didn't get them stapled? And you're like, yeah, they wanted $50 more to staple them. I can staple them. And I go, Tweedy, you're not going to staple 500 of these things. He goes, yes, I will. And I go, okay. So you grab a stapler, and I'm literally watching you go like this with a regular old stapler. Because you can't fit the stapler onto the page because it's too long.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over your shoulder. Yeah, I'm looking over your shoulder, and you're sitting down at the desk going like this, and you do this. And you look up at me, and I'm just like, so then you had a clever idea. You, instead of a stapler, you opened it up like that, right? Because then you could, bam. So you go, all right, aha, aha. So you go to the center, opens it up flat, puts it right there, croom, croom, ha. You stapled it to the table.
I forgot about that bit.
And I'm just like, are you serious? And then the best part, Mike, in order to staple them, you went to like Staples, and you bought one of those really long staplers. It was like this big, so you could staple them all. And like, I remember asking you how much. I go, how much was that stapler? And you were like, $40. And I was like, $40, and you have to staple all these things. You should have just paid the 50 and had them do it. Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Yeah. So that's kind of how things were between the two of us the whole time. Because we shared dressing room, and we were neighbors on the train.
Right. No, I tell people, when we talk about that, is that I saw you like every day for 2 years, almost.
There was no escape.
But yeah, between you, Sharon, and Willow, I mean, it was really, it was great. And I'm glad that we got along so well, because I can't imagine if you didn't get along with that the person that you're opposite. Boy.
Yeah. Hi, Kabumba.
Yeah.
And there was a time that you went away, of course.
I gave you the keys. I gave you the keys to my train room. We had a random week. I gave you the keys to my train room, and I said, oh, can you watch the doves? Because I had the doves in my bathtub. And you're like, sure. So I was gone. I come back a week later, and you filled my entire room with balloons. The entire room. And then
I was dedicated.
That was dedication, yeah. And then I remember seeing photos that you posted afterwards of like half a dozen people or more in my room, in my house, blowing up balloons and throwing them in my bedroom. And I was like, all you people were there. Yeah, you couldn't do it all by yourself.
Yeah, I had to get some recruits in.
And they were all very happy to do it.
Yeah, they were very generous.
Oh my gosh.
And also, we newspapered your bathroom for you as well, very kindly.
Very kindly.
Yes.
You remember any other? Well, heck, not just Ringling. Let's not talk Ringling. What about? Do you have anything things. Oh, no, this is my favorite story. The one where you were in the parade and you fell off your unicycle and you had to go to the hospital because you passed out and you punctured your.
That's not a funny.
That is my.
Your favorite story of me like being in the hospital for like, okay. So I'm glad my injury causes you so much mirth. So I was doing a parade. This is a long time ago. This is like probably before Alex was born. You know, it's so long ago.
Get out of here.
So I was doing a parade, and it was a stilt bike. Actually, it wasn't a unicycle. So you know, it's a bike that you're. Well, I used to be so high up. You don't get double-decker buses in the States, really, do you?
No.
No.
Maybe like tour buses, like in Hollywood, but not common.
No. But so it's a really high bike anyway that you wear stilts on, so you're really high up. And I used to cycle alongside the double-decker buses, so say like a second-story window maybe, and you could knock on the window, go, oh hi, and cycle off like this. So we're on the parade, and I couldn't go any further on the parade. The parade float went under this little tunnel, but I was too high to go under the tunnel. So I'm cycling about on my own now, lost, dressed as a clown, really high up.
Because you're trying to meet back up with the parade. So like you went around a block trying to find them, but you couldn't find them, right?
Couldn't find them. Going around, and then I fell off. And I landed on the handlebars. That's not funny. Landed on the handlebars. I'm winded because, and then it's so high up, I can't get back on because I use a parade float to get on the bike. So I hide the big bike and my stilts in the bushes. Now this is when I used to wear the full clown makeup, you know, sort of Ringling style clown with red nose and all that. And then I hitchhike. I'm there as a clown hitchhiking because I've got to get back to the circus to get a van to pick up the bike. So I hitchhike back to the circus. I get picked up by someone picked a clown up and said, yeah, come in my car. So they take me back. I get this big van from the circus. I drive it back, put everything in the van, drive back to the circus, by which time the parade float's arriving back and they're going, what on earth are you doing? I explain that to them. We start the show. I get halfway through the show and I like pass out and I can't do the rest of the show. And they're like, oh God, got to get this guy to hospital. But everyone's doing the show. So they bundle me into a taxi, take him to the hospital. This is me still in the big, you know, I had the big clown shoes and everything, the whole like traditional circus clown. Arrive at the hospital, flop in the big shoes in. And the doctor like looked at me and just came in, yeah, no, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, oh, okay. So I start making my way back to the circus, still as a clown, trying to get back from the hospital. I had no money, so I couldn't get a taxi back because I was in my clown gear. So I made it all the way back to circus.
So wait, you hitchhike back?
No, I walked back.
You walked back?
Yeah, it wasn't that far to hospital. So I'm in the field, I can see the tent now, I'm in the park. And then I pass out again, like in the park. And some like, you know, customers find this passed out clown in the park and telling people there's a clown passed out in the park. So then they're like, what are you doing? Why did you come back from the hospital? I'm like, I don't know, the doctor sent me back. He said there's nothing wrong with it. Well, obviously the age, you're passed out in the park. Okay, so they bundle me back in the taxi again and I'm back up there. Then, all right, we better look at you properly. And then they put me in the car, in the trolley, you know, because they're like, okay, we'll put him in a bed. They're wheeling me along. My big clown shoes are flopping out the side, knocking all the things off. The sides are pushing the trolley along. And they're like, no, can you try and keep your clown feet in? I'm like, whoa, keep your clown feet in. So yeah, and then they chucked me in the bed and they did loads of tests. And I punctured my pancreas at the end of that funny story. Yes, that's it. I was 6 weeks in the hospital. My wife came up to see me that night because she was in the show. And I'm lying there still in my clown costume with makeup like all smeared over my face. It's like they hadn't bothered to like help me get my makeup off or the costume off. It's just like, just leave the clown there. You'll be fine. Yeah, it would have been amazing. But
my favorite part is that your clown shoes are hanging off the bed, the gurney, as they're wheeling you through. You catch somebody's IV and they're all.
So I was nil by mouth for like 2 weeks. I was on the stand, but they took me off that because I was using it as a scooter. I was going round with the IV stuff. Ah! And then eventually they took me off the ward and put me in my own room. They're like, we have to get this guy out of here. I was just running amok in the ward. I'm like, they wouldn't let me out, but they were like, no, just put him in that room. Leave him in there.
The padded room.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is one of my favorite stories, and I have told that to other people before.
Oh, but my friend ruptured his pancreas. So one of my first memories of This Would Be Amazing was when I was about 17, and I got a part in a ballet. So when the ballet would come to town, they get extras. Like in movies, you have extras. So you just kind of have to stand at the back, you know. So and I would put tights on and everything. So you'd have the ballet. Oh, you can't see me to do the ballet walk. But so all I had to do, this would have been amazing. All I had to do was I had a tray of goblets, and I'd have to walk on the back and just stand at the back with a tray of goblets as they're doing all their ballet. It would have been amazing, except I wasn't stood in the right mark. So this ballet guy did this big split leap, knocked the tray, goblets, rolling about the stage. So I'm on my hands and knees trying to retrieve all the goblets. This guy's still trying to do his ballet. So that was like 17. Like, I should have known at that point. This might be a sign. And then not long after that, I was doing, because I went to youth theatre. You see, I'm trained actor. I went to youth theatre, and we were doing the show Dracula Spectacular, which was it's like a Dracula musical thing. And I was playing Genghis, who's like his hunchback assistant. I was like, oh, master, oh, you are wonderful, master. I grovel and fall at your feet like this. And I had to bring on this tower. You go, Genghis, bring on the North Tower. And it was quite big. It was like big scaffolding, and I'd have to like drag it on. And it always got a big reaction because it just looked funny because it's so big, this tower comes on. Yeah. And then this one show, I'm bringing it on, and it's like, that's a weird reaction. It was like, it wasn't usual sort of laughing. It was more of a loud gasp. And I kind of looked about, and I turned around, and I'd knocked the theatre flat, which, you know, theatre flat's like 2 meters by about 10 meters. Yeah. So I turned around, and all the crew were just there, like, pushing this flat back up that was just about to, like, land on me. I'm thinking, oh dear.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what?
It would have been amazing.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started. I think maybe I should just be a clown.
No, it's not maybe I should be a clown. It's maybe I am a clown.
Yeah, I think that's how the thought process went.
You know,
I remember when I was a kid as well, I had a walk-on part in the school show of Oliver Twist, and I had to discover the murdered Nancy. This is a big dramatic scene. I had to literally come on and murder. Opening night, I came in and did it. The audience just cracked up laughing. director was like, tomorrow night, do that with your back to the audience. It's like, come on in. So, oh, she's dead, murdered. I don't want to see your face. No dramatic acting for you.
Oh my gosh. So this last December when I was in the UK, I saw you in Panto. And
Oh, yes.
you were in Cinderella Story, right?
Yeah, which must be confusing for you in America, because it's like, what, how does a character like Tweedy end up in Cinderella?
Yeah. But you know what? It was fantastic. And my favorite part was the slosh routine.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Okay, so what happens is you were kind of like, your characters, you're kind of like what, like kind of like the butler in a way, right? You're the butler?
Yeah, I'm kind of in charge of the house.
Yeah.
All the chores and stuff, yeah.
Right. And so one of the characters comes out and you know, they ask if you can get them some ice cream. And you're like, okay. And so then they say, what flavors do you have? And you're like, okay, we have, and you list off like a dozen super fast. I'm sure you remember it. Go. So anyhow.
No idea. I can't remember it at all. Vanilla, mint chocolate, soda caramel, but no, I can't remember.
So you would list off all of these ice creams super fast, and they go, okay, I'll take, you know, this one. And you're like, great, I'll go get the ice cream. And it's all tongue in cheek. It's all really funny and just, so it's kind
of like an old vaudeville routine in a way.
Yeah, an old vaudeville routine. And so you go, I'll go get it. Why don't you sing him a song while I get your ice cream? And so you leave stage and this person starts singing this kind of fun, stupid song. And you come back with this bowl of whatever the ice cream is. And at the very end of this person's song, as you're walking on, they go like this and they hit the bowl and it spills all over you. And the whole audience goes nuts, right? And you're just like with it dripping down your face, you know, and then you like blink and all you see is eyes. And so then everybody's laughing and then another character comes on and they go, what's going on? They're like, oh, Tweedy was getting me ice cream. They goes, I want some. What flavors do you have? And you're like, well, I have blah, 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 blah. And they goes, wait, what was the fourth one? And you're like, blah, 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 blah. I'll take that one. And then you're like, great, as it's still dripping down you. I'll go get the ice cream. Why don't you two sing him a song? And so then you leave stage. They start singing the song. And as you're walking back with the bowl of two bowls of ice cream, you slip on the ice cream that's spilt before, and you'll, and it goes all over you. And the audience is howling. And then they look at you and they're like, oh, you spilled our ice cream. Oh, and you're like, oh, well. And then another person comes in, like maybe a few other characters. And now you have like 5 characters on stage and you're like, we all want ice cream. And you're like, okay, here are the flavors. Da, da, da. And you leave and you come back and there's like 5 of them all singing the song now. And you have this huge bucket and you're like you're going to throw it on them. And you're like, shall I? And the whole audience, yeah, shall I? Yeah. And then when you go to throw it, you like slip, it falls, and then you fell into the bucket.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you fell into this, the stuff went whoo, like it looked like a science experiment. Whoo, it went all over everywhere. So ends up happening, and like people going nuts. What ends up happening is all the characters leave and the Cinderella and Prince Charming come to sing. It's like a moment. It's like the most serious love moment, right? And they're singing, what are they singing? What song is it? Do you remember? It was like that Ed Sheeran song.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That Ed Sheeran love song. And so
I wasn't listening.
It was like some Ed Sheeran love song that they're like singing to each other because they're falling in love at the very next scene. This is the moment they're falling in love because everybody left, and they're still. You did the whole routine on a mat, so they cleaned up almost all of it, but there's like a few little things that are on the side of the stage, but nothing in the center. And you leave and you go change, and they're having this really serious love moment, and they're singing songs, and all of a sudden you see you mopping, you kind of peek out of the wings and you start mopping the floor, and you just are looking around, and everybody starts laughing, and they're just intent on each other. And then pretty soon you have a mop and you're mopping and you're getting more and more on the stage. And then you are on your stomach on like some skateboard, and you literally roll across the whole stage, mopping the stage as you go across. And they're still singing their song, and you come flying back, and now you're like, oh. Then you get a vacuum and you start vacuuming it, and you start vacuuming her, and her hair gets caught in it. Oh my gosh. The audience is like, just like, I'm in tears laughing. Everybody's crying, laughing. And like Cinderella and Prince Charming are just like laser focused on themselves, singing this love song as you're just, you know, making everybody laugh. And I mean, that was probably, from what I can remember, one of the funniest routines I've ever seen. It was just so perfect. It was great.
Really. There was one show when I sat in the bucket that went everywhere. A big blob got so high it hit like the proscenium, and then in the next scene, plop. It's a big bird. What?
Oh my God.
A fun thing we did the year before, because the theatre is beautiful, ornate theatre, and there's like carved out cherubs and things all around. We had a prop cherub made next to the real one. So at part of it, I go to grab something and knock it off. And the audience like genuinely thought I'd just broken this sort of turn of the century, 100-year-old theatre.
Oh, man, that's so good. That's so
good. Messages like ages after going, what happened about the cherub?
That's amazing. Man, honestly, you're one of the funniest people, if not, yeah, you know, you're the funniest person I know. Every time I'm just laughing at you. So yeah, you're great, man. But thanks for spending some time making me laugh. This whole thing is basically me just laughing. All right. Tell Willow and Sharon I said hi, and I'll send you that video.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Oh, here she is. What?
Hi.
What? It's just hi.
Sharon, we were talking about when Tweedy had his collapsing chair on Ringling, and the
dress. Oh, it nearly broke my back.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we were laughing about you nearly breaking your back, and me puncturing my pancreas. Yes.
Oh, that's the best story. Bye, guys. I'll chat with you later. All right, Tweedy?
Yeah. What time is it over there then?
It is 10:34 a.m.
Oh, a.m. Oh,
yeah.
Well, have a nice day. I'm going to have my tea.
Have your tea. Bye.
See you later. Bye.